Okay, so I'm back again. And you know, when I'm back, that means there's a new nonprofit that has started, a nonprofit that's growing, or a nonprofit that wants to be a nonprofit. Today, we have a group that we work with in terms of putting together the paperwork for the 501c status, and they have that 501c3. So, that being said, Veronica, tell us who you are and what your nonprofit is all about, where you're located, the name, the purpose, and why you started your nonprofit.
Yes, thank you, Michael, for having me. My name is Veronica Life. I am the CEO and founder of Purple It Up for Domestic Violence Awareness, Inc. We're an advocacy, referral, network, and resource for victims of domestic violence. We started out in 2014 voluntarily doing what we're doing, and currently just became aware of our nonprofit status has been approved. And the initiative there behind that is Rosa Shores, which she's going to be on one of our board members, helping us. And I just always been inspired by Michael and seeing me and what I have been doing voluntarily since 2014 and still voluntarily doing it. Just because we got status, we don't have dollars. And I'm looking forward to the encouragement. I know Michael's adamant about seeing this through the structure and helping us out to attain that. And we really are the boots on the ground with all the networks and agencies. Now, Michael doesn't know, but we have globally been around the world helping people right here from Tampa, Florida. Our Tampa Bay area is the right incubator for what Purple Up is getting into and have been through voluntarily. And I will tell you, it just warms my heart to see people coming back, the over 100, 253 families come back, and they all kind of said, I did this because you wouldn't let me not do this. Net would not allow me not to speak up, but to press on and go through everything that we partnered or paired victims to the certified agencies, the resources that have the ability to do the lifting of the financial and part of the heavy work. And we have been the cheerleaders and relationship managing and networking, referring, whatever needs to be done, one case at a time. And through those cases, there's been more people impacted and that we have helped. And our goal has been to not only do that work with agencies, be that compliance network. That's kind of what we're called, and the boots on the ground that are the cheerleaders holding the victim's hand and their family, their businesses and communities, holding everybody together, saying we can do this. Let's stick together and stay together. So Purple Up
So,
has
so why did you start the nonprofit? What led
begun.
you to be part of this nonprofit? Was it something that you personally experienced, someone, or something like someone that you knew experienced it? So, what led you to start this awesome nonprofit?
What led me to this? It was me in 2008 when I realized a very dark side of going through domestic violence, having to deal with it. After waiting to get married and got that, I realized that I was in a situation, I was silenced because who I was married to. I was silenced because everybody else thought, oh, she'll get help. She'll be okay. Let's pray for her and patty cake and go. No, I needed somebody to speak up and stand with me and hear my voice and get the required help that I was required to receive, but I didn't. So I knew at that moment in that space, I wasn't alone in that. There were other victims that were getting help, but they didn't know how to ask. They didn't know how to voice what they needed. And I helped them voice and they got it. These are, I was single, no kids. So I was in a predicament because of singleness. And if I was a mom or if I was this or that, I would have been treated different. And here I am, a single woman going through and helping others through voluntarily. And I refuse to let that stop me. I refuse my voice Even though I was silence before the courts and I didn't have a lawyer, that was the biggest thing. I didn't have no money. I didn't have access to our marital income, our household income. I never received a paycheck for all the work I did for our practice that we established. And I just remember saying and telling the cops, and the cops saying, I'm so sorry, but he's got the advantage. He knows he's using what you have helped them attain to slap you in the face and keep on silencing you because he has the money and he's paying. And there's a lot of sensitive things there when you don't have the financial um, access, let alone the financial ability to get the support you need. And it should have been taken care of by a resource. So I implemented that from my walk in my survivorship to always leave room for somebody to receive a hand up and give back and make sure that connection happens where they need to do and how they need to do to follow that and stay encouraged, because it's easy for somebody to stay in their situation because they don't know that help is on the other side. Well, Purple Up, we make it known that we're going to find a way. Just don't give up. Speak up. Your voice
Awesome.
and
So,
that was my journey in starting this. And it's been on repeat, come up with different circumstances. COVID didn't make it easy, but it definitely made the call to action relevant because people had to stay home in their situation. We could no longer go to Walmart and do arrangements for somebody to get away with a 24-hour business. But thank God McDonald's has stayed open and Dunkin' Donuts have been stayed open. And there's just been certain things have happened and people stepping up. And we're making those connections and getting people connected to the resources they need to see the differences happening and voicing that victory. So in a sense, that's Purple.
awesome. So my question now, if someone wanted to donate it, because you convinced me, and I'm sure you're going to convince the audience. Now, you should know that we focus on a national audience all over the country. In
Mm-hmm.
addition to focusing on different folks from around the country, we also have part of our circle, your funders, Bank of America, Chase Bank, all those foundations and corporations that actually do funding. That's why we ask our new nonprofits to do a video like this, so that as you begin to move forward with going after funding, they would have identified who you are even before you get to talking to them. That being said, do you have a website? Do you have an email that someone can send a donation, volunteer time, or whatever it takes for your organization to be successful?
Yes, you can go to purpleitup.org. Everything's there and you can get involved. Even with our challenge, we have a Don't Drop the Ball on Domestic Violence Awareness Challenge. That's our Purple Up Challenge. You can start with that. And we offer that pop-up lunch and learn that businesses need to know how to administer to their teams and provide awareness and encouragement for domestic violence awareness. Because within your team, the 1 in 4 women, the 1 in 7 men do exist. And people right now are going through the non-physical, which is the verbal, the psychological, the social, the financial abuse. That's domestic violence. And we have a a little football we created with the power and control wheel. So if you can recognize any of these things, we want to put that in front of your business and have you challenge yourself to purple it up. And so go to purpleitup.org. Our email is purpleitup1@gmail.com. We're on all the social medias and we're working on hopefully getting some marketing dollars so we can create more awareness. And keep in mind, we have done a lot of things without support of our own. And
That's what's most important when funders fund. They want to know what have you done without money. So what we're going to do from our end of the table is to show you the different training that we provide that take you from the initial starting of your nonprofit, that's the paperwork, and then eventually moving you to actually operation and actually getting the billing to house your nonprofit. It is a process. It's a step-by-step process, but we take you through the whole process to take you from the concept to actually opening up the door. We're going to talk about that on the other side of this. We also want to talk to you about our CEO training. You will be a good candidate for that type of training, because you sometimes the best mouthpiece for an organization is the organization itself. So that being said, let's go to the other side of this conversation where we can really get in depth about